from the Paper Snob. I am back for another Scraplift Crafternoon. Thanks for joining us this week. Miss Kimberly is going to be back playing along this week, and I'll post everybody's links below. This week we are scraplifting one of our own. It is her birthday week, and to celebrate Christina, we are doing one of her layouts that Anna chose. It is a beautiful layout. I can't wait to show you what we're going to do. I am going to be using my Counterfeit Kit Challenge June kit. It features mostly Paige Evans Bungalow Lane. I chose some bits and pieces right here to do this layout. You just have to see what I end up doing. Hopefully I don't make a humongous mess. I did want to share a layout that I created this past few days with this kit. It has nothing to do with Scraplift Crafternoon. I'm kind of tickled with how this turned out. My stitching and the mixed media, and that's my beautiful daughter. So just thought I'd share that. Let's get started. So I'm going to first cut off the branding strip from the piece of paper that I'm using as my base. I tend to like only the B-sides from this collection, so I'm using a ton of B-sides. Here I'm going to cut down a piece of this blue and white striped paper. I actually think it might be blue and light pink, but then I decided to tear it. I'm going to use this instead of a banner as an anchor point for my title and my photo. I'm going to start prepping my photo and my pattern paper to make mats behind my photo. I'm laying out bits and pieces off to the side so they're within easy reach, cutting off the extra bits from the tags that I'm going to use as layering behind my photo mat. You will also see that I have some fun foam there. I'm going to use that to create some dimension. There's a little epoxy heart sticker that came in the kit that I set off to the side as well. I'm going to first trim my photo down. I was going to make it 4x4, but I couldn't quite cut down to 4x4 because it cut off too much of my husband's arm. So it's 4 by maybe 4.5. Here I decide that I'm going to distress my photo and the 3 layers of my mat plus the 2 tags that I had set off to the side. First I begin by distressing the photo. Once I'm done distressing that photo, I do lay it on top of that light blue pattern paper and just eyeball a mat. I don't measure anything here, I just do some eyeballing. I really like this photo of Pat and I. It was taken just as things opened up here in New York in the summer of 2020 during the pandemic. We were able to go to a restaurant that we both love to enjoy eating. I love it most because they allow me to bring dairy-free cheese in, and they'll build my pizza on a gluten-free crust and use the cheese that I bring in. That's just a little side note. I'm still matting my photo here. I adhered it down and I decide where I'm going to put things. I almost make a mistake here because I intend for that bright coral orange to go in between the 2 blues, and so I have to cut down that orange a lot more than I expected, so I just kind of have to make it work. It ends up working out really well, and I kind of angle the mat on the photo, the light blue photo in the end, so that you can see both pieces. Now I'm distressing all of the matting that's going behind my photo. I do each piece. There's no perfection in this. I just distress as I go. Just kind of getting the look that I would like. Here I'm going to start putting together the layout. I clean up my area a little bit, and then I just start putting the photo where I think I want it to go. There's the striped piece. I'm trying to decide where I'm going to anchor that photo and my title for later. Cut it down a little bit. I didn't want it to go all the way across. I didn't want it to get in the way of the floral cluster that I plan on building. You can see I'm adding the tags behind it, and I'm going to distress the tags here because I hadn't done that yet at this point. I don't distress the entire tag, just the part that I expect to stick up behind the photo mat. I'm starting to layer everything behind my photo mat, and as well as build the floral cluster down in the bottom left corner. I'm cutting the holes with my crocodile here. I'm going to add some twine off camera in the end to those holes, but for now I'm just getting them prepared to do that. I'm going to start choosing the floral ephemera that I want to use to build my floral cluster down in the bottom left. I just kind of move things around until I get it just the way I want before I start adhering things to my background page. You can see that I'm building that floral cluster, but I'm building it off my page a little bit. I will cut those off in the end, I promise. Deciding on my title and whether or not I can use some word phrases from these sticker sheets. Can't decide where I want to put this, and then I decide to put it down at the bottom of the photo. And I want to use quite a bit of the little phrases, but decide to just leave it at that one for now. I'm going to add foam dots to the back of that butterfly so that it looks like it's flying off my page. In the beginning, I had thought I was going to title this page Us, the Best Thing, but I just didn't like the colors from those words. Those are from Paige Evans' Wonder Collection. I also really wanted to use that embrace acetate phrase. I just couldn't get it where I thought it looked good. I do end up sneaking it onto the page off screen. You'll have to look for it later. I'm starting to adhere things now, wanting to get everything glued down. I start with a floral cluster because it needs to dry a little bit before I cut it off. I decide in the last minute to add some tiny foam dots to the back of one of those floral pieces behind my photo. I wanted the darker pinky coral to stand out more, and so I added 2 foam dots, one to each little bit so that it would stick up a little bit, just give you a little bit more dimension. Go ahead and adhere my butterfly at this point, fold up its wings. Looks like it's about ready to lift off. I'm making quite a bit of mess here, and it's a little chaotic for me, so I begin to just kind of clean up around my space a little bit just so I can focus on this layout some. feeling a little bit OCD today. I'm going to cut off the extra floral ephemera pieces that are hanging off the edge of my page here. I do end up saving a couple pieces and tucking them in various places on the layout. That way I'm not really wasting anything. I mean, it's terrible to waste scrapbook supplies, right? It's not like I don't have an entire room full of stuff to play with or anything. And there's that large piece of the ephemera that I did set aside. I do end up tucking it. Watch for it. I'm going to add some foam, fun foam behind the two flowers on my floral cluster at the bottom. A little bit of trouble with the glue here. It kind of gets to where it's sliding a bit. I pick up the little portion of the pink flower that I'd cut off on the lower left corner. I tuck it up there at the top in front of the tags. I'm going to add the blue one as well. It's time to decide on a title. I really have not made up my mind yet what I'm going to title this layout. I'm really trying to only pull from my CKCB kit. This month I'm trying to use it up because there's 50 sheets of pattern paper in it. So I really want to make a dent in this kit, mostly because we're packing out here soon. We're going to be moving to Kentucky at the end of July, and I need that box to pack other supplies in. So I want to use up as much of this kit as possible. I still can't make up my mind what I'm going to use for a title, so I start adding some little tiny bits and bobs to the layout just for fun. I am not going to be using any Nuvo dots or enamel dots this go around, so I'm going to try to use up as many of these little stickers as I can. I go back to that phrase set, trying to see if I could find something to use. I don't like the color, so I put it back, set it aside, and I pick up the foam sticker set and decide to use hello. That's a pretty generic title, right? I decide to add some more of the small pieces from the foam set. There's quite a bit of hearts and other little pieces on there that I think will look really good, so I just start adding some more stuff. More is better, right? Oh, you know what this needs? It needs some ink. So I take the packaging that I keep my foam things in, and I grab my White Delusions ink spray and just go to town. Covered up my photo so I wouldn't get any dots on it. Have quite a bit of fun playing with this white ink. I think it's one of my favorite sprays right now. This is where I decide that my layout is complete. I do add some details off screen. I take a white Stabilo pen and I draw around the mats and several of the floral ephemera bits. I also add my journaling and a little twine to my tags. Really love how my layout turned out this week. Thank you so much for scrapbooking with me today. Have a great Sunday afternoon.